Okay, guys, so here's the thing. Everybody in my house is asleep right now, so I can't exactly be as loud and obnoxious as I usually am in most of my reviews, so I'm gonna have to keep it on the down low, but hopefully you guys still enjoy this review and share a like, subscribe, and comment below. Anyway, The Mist. So, The Mist came out in 2006, and it was based off of the novella by Stephen King, and it was created by the same guys that gave us both The Shawshank Redemption and The Green Mile, both movies in which I absolutely enjoy, so I thought to myself, this movie itself I gotta enjoy as well, right? In my mind, it's probably the worst out of all three of them. Anyway, this father is taking his son to the grocery store after a massive electrical storm that happened the night before, and while they are there, this massive mist comes in and covers the whole parking lot, and suddenly everybody is running inside of the grocery store and taking shelter. And as soon as this happened, I thought to myself, this movie's going to be a ripoff of The Fog, isn't it? Uh, an eerie fog moves into a town, and a bunch of monsters start killing them, and everything. And as the movie goes on, I thought to myself, oh no, this movie is not a ripoff of The Fog. It's more or less Silent Hill meets Lord of the Flies. That's your scenario right there. I mean, the monsters in this movie are absolutely creative. They are not ghost pirates that are trying to kill everybody as it is in The Fog. They are more or less giant insects, giant spiders. They have those bat things that, it's the first Silent Hill games, and when you're going from building to building, you have one of those bat creatures trying to chase you down and all such. Yeah, they're in this movie as well. And also you got giant tentacle monsters that go underneath the door. That was a creepy scene. And these other giant creatures, which I don't know what they're called, but they do look cool. And for the first part of this movie, I gotta say, it's kind of sloppily made. Let me explain. In the very beginning, when the fog is rolling in across the parking lot, everybody suddenly runs inside the grocery store, taking shelter because something bad is happening out there. 15 minutes later, there are a bunch of people saying, "Alright, this is ridiculous. It's just a fog outside. Let's just go to our cars and just go home. What's really the big deal?" And when I'm looking at this situation, I'm thinking to myself, okay, just 15 minutes ago, you all were rushing inside the grocery store as if the apocalypse is happening or something, and now you're mix and match on what to do. Some of you want to leave, and some of you want to stay in. Granted, staying in is the smartest decision, but for some characters to go from point A to point negative D, it just makes absolutely no sense to me. So, more or less, that's kind of sloppily made, but the rest of the story does lead to a very interesting route. Like, for example, there is this one lady in this movie. She's really deep in her religion, and as far as I can tell, she is basically the Jim Jones of the entire group. And if any of you who don't know who Jim Jones is, that is a good thing. Please don't ever look him up because it's very disturbing. And she's the one who starts the whole Lord of the Flies type of situation in this place. And it only took a matter of a couple of days. So I gotta say, this movie does have the scares, it does have the surprises, and it definitely has the characters in this movie that you really care about. And what I did not know is that there was a lot of actors in this movie that I actually saw in The Walking Dead. Like, for example, Andrea is in this movie. There is Dale. If you guys remember Dale from the first few seasons, he's in this movie. There's even Carol in this movie, and we all know Carol. Carol will survive anything. The very next thing we'll hear is Fallout is going to have its own movie or a TV series. The actress who plays Carol is going to be in that movie. She's probably going to be the main character. Going to survive it all. Another main problem that I have with this movie, and it's the ending. The ending of this movie, I wouldn't really say is bad. I mean, it's a situation that is absolutely shocking. It was more or less infuriating for me. I mean, I kind of expected this was not going to be the brightest ending that you would hope for in a movie like this. And as it was going, I thought to myself, oh, this is going to be a really sad ending. And then something happens, and I was sitting there going, you've got to be kidding me. I mean, 30 seconds could have been a massive change in this whole thing. I have a whole lot to say about the ending of this movie, but that goes into spoiler details, and I'd rather not get into that. So I gotta say, The Mist is pretty good. It has the horror, it has the creativity. I'm never going to watch this movie again, mostly because of that ending. it's just amazing on how one ending is just the biggest mistake a movie has, and this movie, in my opinion, has that. So I would say it's worth watching at least once. Except for Stephen King, anyway, he actually enjoyed the different ending than what his book had. For a guy that criticized Stanley Kubrick for changing a lot in his story of The Shining, he seemed really happy to have that ending in his story of The Mist. I don't get it. So guys, The Mist, have you seen it? What did you think of it? Whatever you thought, comment below, and I'll see you in the next video.